This is Finlay Sturges, 4 seconds out. Delighted to be joined with promoter Ben Shalom. Ben, you finally cracked the Leeds scene. How's it feel to be in my adopted home?
Oh, is this your home?
I've been here 4 years because of uni, so I'm staying here.
Uni, I had friends that came to university here, and it's a wild place. One of the guys that works with me is who owns Mint Festival. So
I went there last Saturday.
Did you? But it's a great city. It's a great fighting city, but a great city for entertainment. So I've been to shows here before, and I've never promoted here. It's probably the one major arena that I really was hoping to be able to do because we're not done. And so thankfully, we're here ahead of a huge night. It's a massive night. It's an absolute blockbuster. It's a Christmas special. It's got everything. 2 British lads ready to absolutely go, and I can't wait.
It's a good domestic dust-up. You know, from all the way at the bottom of the card, you've got Sam Hickey, you've got Leeds versus Barnsley, we've got Brad Casey. How excited are you to showcase the future of British boxing?
You know what? Sometimes you come to regions and you want fighters to take fights, to take risks from top to bottom. And to be fair to Yorkshire, on this occasion, every fighter, from the 4-0 guys fighting each other to the 11-1 guys, to the Blair Cobbs against Elliot Wales, to the Levi Giles against Frankie Stringer, everyone's wanted to take a 50-50 fight. Main event speaks for itself. So it's a fantastic card. It's going to be one hell of a show on the iPlayer, and then a huge night on BBC Three as well. So it's a big card, and for me a huge boxing event.
Like you said, we've got a mix of age ranges and experience. Blair Cobbs coming in. How funny is he just to have at the press conference to really build that fight?
Listen, he's beat 2 former world champions. He's been up there with the very best. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's a great entertainer. It's hard in American boxing at the moment. Guys just aren't getting their opportunities, or they don't have many. And so, you know, Blair was someone that I'd been speaking to for a while. The opportunity came up. Elliot really wanted a fight. Probably one of the most avoided fighters in the division, so it made sense for both. It's a tough ask. Elliot stepping up to fringe world level, and Blair coming over to Leeds and fighting a very awkward, a very talented Elliot Whale. It's a great fight. Levi Giles, Frankie Stringer for me could be fight of the night, and the main event, as I say, is massive. But yeah, Blair's a breath of fresh air.
I'm glad you touched on the main event, so we'll get to that now. When I spoke to you in Derby, you mentioned the introduction of your pay-per-view scheme that you're going to want to introduce coming into the new year. Is Callum Simpson the type of person that you want to be pushing for that pay-per-view star?
Listen, Kell Brook was a phenomenal fighter, world-level fighter. Always treated second fiddle to Amir Khan. Maybe wasn't considered right at the start of his career that he'd go on to be a box office star, and he did. And he built that off his fan base in Yorkshire, and he built an unbelievable fan base. Callum has that. He's done it the hard way. He's come through every level. He started from the very bottom. I remember seeing him, you know, he was on small hall shows similar to the guys on here today, and he was just asking for an opportunity. And for him to have got his opportunity, been meticulous in the way he's gone about it, come from southern area to English to British to Commonwealth to European. And the fans have been all on that way, and that's how you build a star, and the momentum is huge. This is his 4th fight of the year. I believe his 3rd headline fight of the year, which is monstrous, and this is a big fight. He's headlining an indoor arena now for the first time. He's done the stadiums. I'd like him to get to, you know, Oakwell next year in front of 30,000, but yeah, if he keeps performing, keeps building his fan base, he can get to box office. He really can. He's the biggest ticket seller in the country.
It seems like we've got a good segue in conversation. You've got Callum Simpson, and then we've got Blair Cobbs, the American that has retired and scattered all the belts in this division is Terence Crawford. A lot of American fighters find it quite hard to get their flowers until they've maybe passed on through their career, like Terence Crawford has. How do you see this division panning out for Callum Simpson if he is to win on Saturday night? It's
wide open, isn't it? Absolutely wide open. Ultimately, Callum's idea was always the next belt is that world title, but there's probably 2 or 3 more fights. He's always built himself in the right way, and he's always got to that level. I think, for me, a lot of fighters, when they get to European level, have talent. Every fighter that we work with, and they have talent, that's why they're here, that's why they're on TV shows. it then becomes about something else to get to that world level. It becomes about mentality. It becomes about determination, discipline. He has that in abundance. He makes the small adjustments, and every time he has a test, he steps up. So the Callum Simpson you see fighting for the British title is a different one you see fighting for the European, and will be a different one again. And that's the type of guy he is, and he's had to fight for absolutely everything. That's what gives me the confidence that he will get to world level and have those big nights. It's as you said, a wide open division right now. But Callum, there's not many super middleweights in the world that can sell like him, that have a fan base like him, that the TV guys want to have. He actually had the biggest viewing figures, I believe, on Sky this year, where you had the Adam Azim night, you had the women's night at Royal Albert Hall, all great performing shows. You had Whittaker Cameron. The biggest viewing figures were in Simpson, in Oakwell. The guy is a star, and the fans like him. The British fans, they relate to him. He's a real person, a real guy that's gone through real struggle, and yeah, he's got all the hallmarks to become a star.
He's got all the hallmarks to become a star, certainly in England, but what do you think takes him to the next level, especially across the pond maybe, with Terence Crawford? I do want to get your thoughts on his career, obviously leaving, but how can Callum Simpson be a star across the world, especially not just in England?
Take the right fights. Probably look for an American opponent after this, but it's very hard because he's got such a big fight on Saturday. We all look stupid. It's a 50-50 fight. He's got an absolute nutcase coming to take his head off, and who's absolutely ready to go. So he's got to focus on that, but take the right fights. There's big American fights out there, big American names that can catapult him onto the global scene, and everything's set up for him now. But as I say, he's got to focus on Saturday.
Is someone like Hamza Shiraz maybe the perfect name?
No, in fairness to Hamza, who I respect and like a lot, Callum's probably 1 or 2 fights away from that in terms of profile, in terms of level. That's what Hamza will see. I'm not an idiot. He'll see, why should I fight Callum yet? 1 or 2 more fights, Callum's coming like a train. Callum can sell bigger arenas than any other super middleweight in the country, including Hamza Shiraz. He has the potential to go beyond Hamza Shiraz, I believe. But out of respect, to Hamza, he calls the shots right now. He's been fighting that on world level on Riyadh season, and we're probably a couple of fights now away from those major fights and those major nights. And I'd back Callum in any of those fights.
Obviously, there is upsets in boxing. That is natural. That happens. But it's how you, as a promoter, deal with them and take them a good spin on them, I suppose. Eddie Hearn has obviously come out and said that you kind of shy away from that when things go wrong. Is that something you want to disprove? Have you got anything to say about that?
Look, Eddie doesn't know. It's hard for Eddie because a lot of people say he's a bully. A lot of people say that he is brash and that he's arrogant. I don't believe he is. He's just ignorant. He doesn't know the real world. He doesn't know starting out. He doesn't understand the struggles that normal people face. He doesn't understand that failure is something in certain points that you go on to become successful. And we've had so much short success in a short time at such a young age that of course learnings are going to come. And so we've signed a huge deal with the BBC. We've got another broadcast deal about to be announced in the next few weeks. And to be honest, I think from perhaps what happened in the summer, of which more will come out, the way we've responded, the way we've gone on and continued and put on British boxing shows and continued with our fighters and continued with now a major deal is phenomenal and should be credited. And it's more I feel sorry. It's more his ignorance. I feel sorry for him because I actually really like Eddie. I think he's a funny guy. He's just detached from reality. He's never been in reality, so he doesn't understand it. Does that make sense?
Do you feel slightly disrespected that he almost kind of tries to little brother you in the promotion scene?
Look, no, that's his style. He's been doing that probably his whole life. He likes to make people feel smaller than him, probably based on his bank balance or based on the car that he was brought up in or the house that he was in. And that's his style. That's what he's been doing, I'm sure, from a very young age. It is what it is. It's boxing promotions. They're not going to roll out the red carpet. But yeah, it's just the game, and as I say, I do actually like him.
Do you find it weird? Obviously, Johnny Nelson also taking a couple of jibes. He's saying that you're still the little kid at school, maybe getting your head dunked into the toilet. Do you see them comments, and what do you feel?
Very strange from from him, but he's a company man. He's probably put up to say it. I think look, ultimately a lot happened that will come out around that situation. But I'm surprised. Look, he should be crediting myself. I was put in a terrible situation, really, and we've gone and made a huge deal that no one saw coming and continued. Maybe I think there's a lot of bitterness that have continued and been successful and have continued to put on shows. So yeah, for me it was classless. And surprising yet unsurprising, because I probably know where that's come from, but yeah, classless for me. We're a young business. I'm 31 years old. We've shown a huge amount of resilience, done a huge deal for boxing. Who can criticise boxing on the BBC? You've got to be absolutely deranged, and so I think that speaks for itself.
Especially, a lot of people feel like they're okay to take jibes at one another. Even one of the Sowland brothers, I think it was Cal, said, like, sometimes you need to park your ego outside and you struggle with that. Is that something that you believe, or is that something people just maybe get the wrong impression of you?
No, not at all. I think I've probably got the smallest ego out of any of these promoters. He's another son of a promoter, so I have to look. These guys, I like them all. They've all been in the business a long time. They all have their own styles. I think maybe because of my age, there's been like their ego can't allow it. Their ego can't contemplate it. That's my opinion. That's genuinely my opinion. I think I got the least amount of ego out of any of the promoters. I truly believe that.
I just want to touch on, like I said, a brilliant domestic dust-up on Saturday night, but look to the world scale. We've got AJ versus Jake Paul. We've also got Caroline Dubois fighting on that card with MVP. Is that something you're looking forward to see Caroline? Do you want to still see her progressing even though she's not with Boxer anymore?
Absolutely. Any fighter that we work with, we've done extremely well for. Obviously, we have our business and we are now in a position probably where we're more independent. We can make decisions. We have big signings, one of them being announced on Saturday. And so, look, I'm focused on Saturday. Friday night, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. It's a bigger event. It's an entertainment event. We've definitely got the best boxing show of the weekend and the best boxing fight. So it's a good weekend for boxing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
You got a prediction for that fight?
For Jake Paul against...
For Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua?
I mean, I'm not even gonna predict that. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's not, because if it's real...
As a boxing promoter, you're in boxing, you get boxing, you know what the money is. Is that something that you think could be staged?
Stranger things have happened. I don't know. It's not really. It's entertainment, isn't it? I don't think anyone's claiming that it's a real boxing event.
I just want last one. Dave Allen, TKV. Have talks progressed? They're both very happy. Dave Allen came out as well. That's the fight they want. Is there any update on Fraser or the fight with TKV and Dave Allen?
Tell Eddie to call me. Just call me.
Eddie Hearn. You need to call Ben Shalom. Ben, thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.